Okay, so our theme and our topic this quarter is on delegating with ease. So if you're stuck in the mindset of if I want something done, I have to do it myself, then you're likely adding a bunch of unnecessary stress to your own plate. Remember, what we think about and the self-talk that we give ourselves will determine the results that we get. Change your mindset and self-talk too. For example, I am great at delegating tasks that will free up my time. When you're in a leadership position, it can be challenging to let go of your power and give the work that you've been entrusted to do to another person. If this sounds familiar to you, practice making it a priority to let go. So start small and delegate a task that doesn't hold much weight in terms of how the outcome will affect things within your business. So let's take a moment to put this in the context of, a simple household chore, like teaching a child how to wash dishes. It might seem easier for you to just go and do the task yourself, given the fact that you've been doing it for so long and you're familiar with it. But if you can teach the child to wash the dishes, you can spend your time working on that bigger home project that needs your attention. By taking the time to guide the child through the ins and the outs of the washing the dishes, you're not only helping them build their abilities and skills, but you're also allowing yourself some space to make the best use of your time. Remember, delegations allows you to focus your attention on those high-level tasks, thus creating a more functional system for the business. At the same time, you're teaching your team members new skills. So it's important that you learn how to delegate and delegate with responsibility. That's going to help free up your time. So to ensure success, it's best if you can provide or at least explain the task in its entirety to whoever you're delegating to. It's important to make sure that the person tasked with the work understands the overall objective and the purpose of the project, what it is that you're trying to achieve, and also the important aspects that might require extra time and effort, as well as any background information that can help clarify why the project was put in place in the first place. So when your team is aware of the big picture, they'll work together and are more likely to succeed. If you're not already in the practice of providing your team with that bigger picture, give it a go, try it out. If you see something that isn't right, whether it's unfinished work or errors, it's important that you do step in. Be careful to avoid micromanaging though. If it looks like a project might not finish in time or a team member has lost focus, step in and offer a hand. Ultimately, you're in charge and responsible for the outcome, and if something does not work or it goes wrong and you aren't able to finish it in time, then it's important not to blame your team for that. You've got to still accept the responsibility for the overall progress of the project. Involve your team with a post-mortem study at the end of each project for what you could have done better or could be improved upon. So put together a constructive plan to resolve the roadblocks that have got in the way. Now, you may want to foster a means of expressing gratitude to your team when a project is successfully completed. Positive recognition reinforces the employee's positive self-image, sense of accomplishment, and belief that they are a key contributor. It's important to celebrate every small win along the way. Now, write this down. So, how will you celebrate the small wins with your team, and what can you do to reward others for a job well done? So, really consider that. A single task can be effectively completed in a dozen different ways, and your way may not be the right way for someone else. So bring this back to DISC assessments, which will help you understand why this is and why it's different for each of your different team members when you understand their DISC profiles. So embrace creativity and ask for feedback about the instructions that you provided. If circumstances allow, encourage your associates to try new things on completing the task. You never know, they could come up with a method much better and much faster, which would never possibly have occurred to you. So point 7 in the 7 keys to a winning team is to know and understand your people. This is why it's important that when you're delegating, that you know how, your team member is actually going to respond. So take note of some of the following tasks to set up your team for ultimate success and write these down. The first one is decide what it is that you're going to delegate. So point 1, decide what it is that you're going to delegate. Point 2 is pick the right people for the task. So, you'll have some team members in your teams that you know won't have the experience or the capability to actually conduct some of the things that you're wanting to delegate. So pick your team wisely. The third point is communicate clearly. And by communicating clearly, what that also means is that when you're communicating is ask the person that you're delegating to repeat back exactly what it is that you want. Because sometimes they'll interpret what you're saying in a completely different way to what you're intending. So communicate clearly. The fourth area is to check in, but don't be overbearing or micromanaging. So continually check in on the progress that the person you've delegated to is making along the way. The fifth area is to celebrate the wins and share in the rewards. So give credit where credit is due.